So are you? If you're ready, just let us know so you can share your screen to our viewers.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
We're ready. We'll just make our screen big and start sharing.
Okay, no problem. So for the meantime, while we're waiting for that partner, we just like to say, of course, hello to our viewers. Hello to Adiel Fernandez of Front Row, to Vona Nambangi. He's saying already, has some questions already, so we'll wait to read that later on. Ismail Ruguti. Hello, everyone. Pearly Shell, to Shi Umali, and to everyone who's watching us, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, and of course, Beatriz Zaragoza, who is one of our top fans here in our page. She's watching from Fujairah. Hi, Beatriz.
Okay. So, Sir Kevin, if you're ready.
Yeah. Can you guys see our screen?
Okay, there you go.
Yes, sir.
So basically, this is what we do. So just here's our website and all the information. So what we have here is these are the main 3 courses that we deliver. First one here is not sure if you can see the first course here is Certificate 3 in Instrumentation and Control. The second one is Cert 3 in Electrotechnology Electrician, and the third one is Diploma of Electrical and Instrumentation. So these are the 3 courses we offer, and we are a specialist in the electrical field. We don't deliver anything else. It's just for electrical courses. So there is a entrance test before you start the course to assess your math ability. So you have to be above average with your mathematics to basically become an electrician or electrical technician. So initially you would go through that process, and if you pass that process, then you qualify to do our course. Obviously, the next step is to have your English in place. So you need to have an IELTS score of at least 5.5, and only then you can enter this course. And what is, so if I go into further detail here, on our website, I'll just scroll that down a little bit so you guys can do your own research once you've come off this meeting. So here you can just click on more info, and this will basically tell you all the questions that you can come up with for this particular course. And there's other pages on our website, like, say, if you at the top here, you can see Study in Australia, about Darwin, where this is where the school is in Darwin, student accommodation, work and study in Darwin. So these things Clem will go through with you guys, but I'll try and focus on just the course at the moment. So here's the course. Here's all the information. So just scroll down a little bit. It has everything available. The screen is stuck at the moment. So here's the course overview. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll click on the course overview. So what this qualification allows you is to basically work as an electrical technician. So you learn the theory, you do lots of practicals over here. You try and learn how electricity works and how electricity is used in the field of automation. So that is where your electrical knowledge meets your instrumentation and automation knowledge, and you can understand how to automate things, how to use technology to do things rather than having human labor involved in the process. And usually the duration for the course is 2 years. And I'll just go through, that's 2 years, meaning 104 weeks. And in that 104 weeks, we provide you with an internship where we place you with an electrical company where you can learn the practical hands-on stuff. So once you cover the theory and practical here, you go and get on-job experience for 3 months with an Australian company. So that's a part of the course that we take responsibility for that. Then here's the structure. It's 20 hours a week that you have to be in the college to do your theories, and the rest of the time you can actually work in Australia in that particular visa that you have. And locations in Darwin, and intake dates, which is probably the most common question that people ask, is what's the intake dates? So we have an enrollment every 2 months. So if you look here, we have enrollments in January, March, May, July, September, and November. So it's pretty flexible for the intake dates because it is a practical based course. It's not a very theory intense course. So it's very one-on-one. It's very small classroom, and it's very practical based. That's why we have flexible intakes. I think that's pretty much it. All the other things you can see on the website. There's lots of units, lots of study involved. It's not something simple, but it's very valuable. Once you do this course, your chances of having a career or getting a job are much higher than any other course that you can do. That includes any management course, any business course that you can do. This is the most highly valid course that you can do and get a job sooner than any other course, any other profession in Australia. So again, in saying that, it's not easy, but if you put in the hard work and if you are committed to the course, then by the end of the course, you'll have good career prospects. So here's all the units that I'm scrolling through. Again, you can read them and have a look at them and understand them, what's involved. But all these things can be researched on the internet, what they mean. So you have a better understanding if you really want to pursue this career. All right, so what I'll do now, I'll just pass you on to Clem so she can just talk about Darwin and how things are in Darwin and how to get here and things like that. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So Darwin, I would say the weather is probably a little bit like where you guys are. So we have about 30 degrees all year round. So we're located. So if you can see the map here, so we're located at the top end of Australia. So all right, yeah, that's a little bit hard to maneuver. All right. Yeah, so we got a dry season for about 4 to 5 months, and then the rest of the year is a wet season. So you can see in the charts there. So we've got a lot of rain from Jan to March, and then from November, December as well, and then we've got the dry season in the middle. We just get the same temperature all year round, pretty much. Yeah, and then there's a lot of facilities for students. So there's special student accommodation, and it's pretty easy to find a house share as well if they're coming and they just want to share a house with other international students. That's pretty easy as well. Our college is located really conveniently near public transport. So yeah, you can also go on a website, look at the cost of living that we've put there to have an idea as well, how to get to Darwin. And yeah, if you've got a car, there's also a large parking just in front of the college as well, so that could be handy. There's also a lot of activities to do in the Northern Territory, so we have a lot of national parks. I don't know if you've heard of some of them, but we've got crocodiles in Darwin in the wild, so not in the city, of course, but if you go out on a tour, you might be able to go on the river with a special tour and see the crocodiles. And we've also got a lot of very beautiful nature, lots of waterfalls, and national parks and all this kind of stuff. We've got kangaroos as well, just as you would expect in Australia.
You can have pet crocodiles in your own swimming pool if you want. Up to the age of 6 months, you can have your own crocodile.
So yeah, and that's about it for things to do in Darwin. And there's also some work. So international students can work 20 hours a week. So there's a vibrant so restaurant and bar scene in Darwin. So international students can be encouraged to look for work on the side of their studies if they want to. It's really nice to go out as well. It's pretty a good size of a city, so you can travel easily. There's buses, you can hire bikes or little scooters, and it's very nice. It's we have the sea as well, so it's near the ocean. So we've got a lot of beaches and very nice sunsets as well. All right, that's all.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that presentation. Team, are you ready for your questions? Let's discuss more about the courses first, the qualifications of our clients going to Australia, especially what it is applying for their 2 years courses in their school. Partner, can you start?
Yes, my first question is for those who would like to take these courses, do you have like an age limit for it or age requirement? So, for instance, can 45 years old and above join your school if they want to?
Well, they can, but we don't have any restrictions. It's only with the availability of visa. So I think it's kind of gets a bit difficult. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in the visa department, but if you're 45 years old to uh, get a visa, if you can get a visa, we can enroll you into the course. That's no problem.
Okay. And how about the intakes? How many intakes? I'm sure you've mentioned it, but just to clarify and emphasize for our viewers, how many intakes do you offer in a year again?
We only offer 23 intakes in a year.
23 intakes in a year.
Every 2 months.
Every
Every
term, sorry,
2
yeah,
months.
every 2
Okay.
months. Yeah, yeah.
So that's six intakes.
Yeah, 6 intakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, one of them, yes, partner, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Again, I'd like to ask this question because common worries of our
Mhm.
applicants actually of let's say studying in Australia is that since the border is not yet that okay when it comes to opening is accepting flights coming from Dubai. Okay, so my question is, let's say if I'm going to enroll for the next intake, but unfortunately there are no flights available, is the school will give an opportunity for the student to move it to the next opening of your course or of your classes?
Yeah, as long as they qualify to do the course, we don't have an issue with that. That should be fine.
Common problem actually for some of our some of our applicants are, of course, they're worried that if they're going to enroll now, but
Mhm.
then there are no flights available going to Australia. So some schools actually are not like accepting them for the next intake. So good thing that coming from your school, you're actually giving them opportunity to move it to the next intake.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's not an issue at all. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's good news for our viewers who are planning to enroll in AUSINET. And of course, before we ask more questions, I'd like to say hi to some of our viewers. We have Chi Umali coming from Abu Dhabi. Hi, Chi. And of course, Pearly. Pearly, hello to TVC. Hello also to you, Pearly. If you have questions, guys, feel free to ask them because we have our special guest. So the reason why we're doing this live with our partners is for you to ask your questions directly. So if you're interested to enroll in their school, you'll have less queries, of course. You have less hesitations because you have the opportunity to ask them directly. So go ahead, comment your questions now in any of our pages. And hi also to our viewers in YouTube.
Okay, so I'll have a follow-up question to Sir Kevin. So we understand that students are allowed to work. Okay, But the school provides assistance to all of your international students in getting part-time jobs while studying.
Yeah, look, we don't actually promise that because it's very hard.
Okay.
It depend on the person, depend on the person's ability. So we can say something, but if the situation is different in Darwin or there's not enough employment, it might be different. But at times there is a lot of employment and no, there's no issue. But when there's no employment around, then it kind of slows down for everyone. So there, yeah, we don't make any promises in regards to that, but we do provide a internship where they can actually go and work with the employer for 3 months. And what happens then is, you have to be really bad for the employer to say no, because if you perform,
Yeah.
they'll always keep you on, because there is a shortage of electrical workers. So if the person is good and he's willing to work, then there's always an opportunity in Darwin.
And before they qualified, so we also have a section on our website with a lot of different websites where the students can go and find some just little jobs while they're not yet
Oh,
qualified. So
cool.
if they wanna look into like working at restaurants or this kind of stuff, then in the beginning, then we can just provide a list of all the platforms where they can find jobs, and there's also some Facebook groups that we recommend when they enroll. So Facebook groups where they can talk to other international students. There's a special Facebook group for Darwin for international students for jobs. So all this kind of stuff, and there's also an association in Darwin which is called Study NT, and they also help students, and they're here for students to answer all of the questions, and they have a lot of support for students as well.
Okay. All right. So before we play we have a special video advertisement of your school actually. But before we play that, I just like to mention about the internship and OJT that you're actually offering to your students. So just give us what do you this a view about this. Is there some times wherein, let's say, your students who graduated from your school and uh, took this OJT from a certain company? Was there a time or a chance that the company will definitely hire them for formal work later on?
I can't put a percentage, but there's a very good chance that they will, because there's always shortage of electrical workers. So if the
Yeah.
person, if the person is dedicated to his career, he wants to be an electrician, then we make sure that he knows everything he needs to know when he goes out there to the employer. So if he has the knowledge and he's willing to work, there's a very good chance that the employer will hire him. It's not like a management course where, if a person is young and he goes as a management trainee, there's a very little chance that he's going to be given a manager's job, right? Whereas as an electrical worker, if you go there, people are always looking for someone who's actually a good worker, like good person who's got good skills, who's got good knowledge. That's the workforce of Australia. We need those people,
Yes.
but
Exactly.
it's highly unlikely someone's going to just get a kid to look after management of a company, even if he's done his diploma in business management or even masters in business management. Management is totally different. There's a very little chance of you getting a job, whereas with this course, there's a very high chance. If you
Yeah.
if you compare the two, then I would say that you have twice or three times more chance of getting a job in this field than any other management course that you would ever want to do.
And Sir Kevin, am I right? We've heard from one of our previous guests here in our live stream that those who offer this kind of services, for example, electricians, they actually have higher compensation compared to other jobs. Because as you've mentioned, it's a need. So since
Yes,
the workforce is lacking, they're paid really well. Is it? Am I right, Sir Kevin?
that's 100% right. Yeah, there is a shortage of electricians, and they do get paid higher than any other trade for that matter.
Can you
Let's
give us
say,
like? Can you give us
so if the average
Good.
if the average wage was 50,000 here in Australia, the average wage of an electrician is around 75,000. So
Oh,
that's a big difference. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, partner, Sir Kevin and Miss Clem, we will pause for a break. We will later on. We will be discussing about your tuitions, some more qualifications of students going to your school. So, direct, we will have a commercial break.
Kevin's very patient. If you don't understand something, he's more than happy to stay back and explain something in more detail if you don't get it the first time round. And that's not something that you find with many trainers.
Kevin's teaching was very relevant to my current workplace at the gas plant here in Darwin, and he gave his time to ensure every student understood the course theory and practical parts.
I've been waiting quite a few years to do this course due to work commitments and stuff. Kevin's gone and put a course together that suits a lot of people. His knowledge is excellent. I've learnt quite a lot. It's going to help me a lot in my career. I'd like to recommend him for other courses.
I think Kevin's teaching instrumentation as an art form. He's very passionate about it and he knows what he's talking about.
I'd recommend the course. It was great value for money, and Kev's an excellent teacher.
The course was very insightful. It was very hands-on. We got lots of practical experience. It's also very flexible. So with hours-wise, we could come to class whenever we were available. Kev is really knowledgeable. My instrumentation knowledge has increased a lot since I've done this course. Doing the practicals was a great experience. The instruments we use here in the classroom are quite similar to the instruments that we have on site. So it gives us a great insight to what we're expected to do on site and how to use these instruments. Kev's teaching method is great. He has great knowledge from on the field, so he really emphasises the stuff we really need to know and pushes that real hard. The real life examples Kev uses in the classroom are great, as we can compare them to all the instruments and we see on site. The course is value for money. I would recommend this course to people watching this video because it's super flexible. You've no time frame, you can do it as fast as you want, as slow as you want. Great teaching, great hands-on experience. Get on the course.
Okay, so we are back, guys, and again, I think, partner, now we are going to read some of the questions and clarifications for our viewers. So we start with, okay,
let's start with. Actually, we have questions directed to our guests. So
okay,
let's start with this one. Wait, I'll look for it. It's actually asking if can I start a small business while studying, like a shop? So that's a question from John Bryant. So, sir, is it possible for your students to open a shop, maybe related to
small business.
to your courses, or I'm not sure if John Bryant is mentioning like another field, but is it possible?
Yeah, look, while you're on a student visa, you can have your own business. All you need is a Australian business number, which you apply, and
Okay.
that's all done on the internet. So you can apply for that, and in the 20 hours that you have, or the way you want to, however you want to do it, you can actually do that. That's not a problem.
And he actually has another question, and you mentioned this earlier, but just for to specifically answer Brian, how much is the minimum wage of an electrician in Australia?
Um, I'll have to check, but that's all free information on the internet. If you just type in minimum wage of electrician in Australia, the number should pop up. I'd say it's around $75,000, I believe, but you'll have to just confirm that a year.
Okay. All right. So we have another question here, actually, a message from Bona Nambangi, and she said, why is that no African is giving testimonies about traveling from your center? I am just curious. Okay, the answer to that is like this. Our clients actually have their rights to privacy. So there are some approved applications we have but they opt not to share their life or their story online. So we have to respect that. So that's the reason why there are some other nationalities that we cannot publish as our advertisement or promotions to some of our visa applications from the visa center. But thank you so much for opening that good question. We'll get more and encourage more approved visa applications to support us in promoting the visa center.
Yeah, some of them are actually just shy. They just don't want to, be in front of the camera. So here's Sir Kevin and Miss Clem. We have another question here from Jana Sulkar. She's asking, do you have courses for females or for ladies?
Yeah, there's no gender bias in these courses. It's open for males and females. So in Australia, there's electrical technicians who are males and females. So there's no difference. Yeah, it's the same course, same premises, everything's the same.
Okay, sir. My question now. This is for sure. They're waiting for this. So how much? Okay, they need to prepare for for the tuition fee, and do you have any payment terms for those who are interested to enroll in your school?
So the payment is done over the 2 years. So the payment is every 3 months. So it's not a big amount in the first place. So they just pay every 3 months, and it's about 1,000 per month for all of the courses around that. Yes. So they pay by installments.
Okay, so does that mean that, let's say, if I'm interested to enroll in your school, I just have to pay for the 3 months in advance?
Yes.
And
That's
okay.
correct.
Wow,
Very
that's
affordable. Wow.
yeah,
That's
and
good to our viewers. Now, guys, if you're concerned before is the enrollment, then I think we have a good
that's good news
partner
for
for
them.
all of you guys, especially those who are really interested to study in Australia. Okay, so maybe I just have to check their website again. Okay, we're going to also share it later on the link of their website, so that guys you can also check what are the courses available and if you are fit to the courses they're actually giving from their school. Second question, sir, is when it comes to like documents. Let's say I'm really interested now, knowing that your tuition is not that very expensive. What are the documents that I need to prepare for me to be enrolled in your school?
So we need the passport. We send them an enrollment form as well, and then your English tests if they've done it. Otherwise, we might also be able to have them pass our internal English test if they don't have IELTS or PTE or Cambridge. And then if they're offshore, so if they're not in Australia, we also require that they get an Australian insurance for medical
Oh.
insurance. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it. And proof of their previous studies, so what they've studied before, which school they went to, and any academic transcript that they would have. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
the
again, we
two-
just have to repeat that. Yeah, go ahead, sir, Kevin.
Yeah, the two key things are your English and your maths test, and obviously other documentation which you guys are going to help them with anyway. So that's something you guys could answer properly, like for passport, immigration, you guys are experts at that. But as far as we are concerned, we require you to have above average math, which we will test. Obviously, that's an entrance test, and your English. That's very important. So the two things are important to us. Rest is something I think Justine can highlight all the visa requirements.
Yes, actually, that's why we have Miss Christine with us. Miss Christine, are you there? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you, Miss Justine, Sir Junie, Miss Clem, and Sir Kevin?
Okay,
Very good.
I have a follow-up question, Sir Kevin. Okay, because you mentioned that what do you this? Students will have an exam first coming from your school, okay?
Yeah.
For them to qualify, right?
Yeah.
So do they have to pay for their tuition first before
No,
taking
no.
that examination, or you will provide that first?
That's a free exam. That's a
A
free
free
exam.
exam first.
Anyone can take that test. We just need to know. We want the best for them. We just don't want them to quit halfway through the course, because that's not something they want to do. So this is, as I said, there is a reason why the electricians get paid more than average, is because they are good with hands and they are good with their brains. So we need to
Yes.
check both. So that's why we want to make sure that you have the highest possible success rate after you finish the course. So we'd
Yeah.
rather not let someone who's going to fail. That way we have 100% result. Everyone passes and everyone gets a job. That's our goal. That's why we make sure that at the start we get good students to start our course.
That's nice to know, Sir Kevin. So before Miss Christine, thank you for joining the stream. So for our viewers who have questions all about migration, we can ask Miss Christine in a while. So before that, Sir Kevin, since we're mentioning about finishing the courses through AUSINET, we have a question here from Vanville. She's asking, will I get a postgraduate visa if I take one? I think, partner, were you able to read this earlier? This
Okay.
question from Granville. So she's asking if is it possible for her to get a postgraduate visa if she finishes from your institution?
I'm not really sure about this. That might be a question for Christine, probably. So that's a certificate 3 over 2 years. So I'm not really sure if they can get postgraduate
I don't believe
visa.
so, that only, like postgrad visa. There's only certain visas. I think we'll have to get back to you
Yeah.
on that one. There's a list of courses that you can do, and once you do those courses, you can get a postgrad visa. So that list is already on the website, on the immigration.gov website. If you look at that website, and if our course is on that list, it means that you can actually get a postgrad visa. That's how it works.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my last question, so because we understand that there are some courses that could not help. Okay. No, but before that question, there are some people who are their interest really of studying to Australia is to really gain those knowledge that will be they're going to use for their future plans or of whatever career they wanted to take. But then there are some that actually taking courses or courses to Australia because of their plan that later on they wanted to continue it with application for a permanent residency. But with all the courses that you have, all of them can you can say that they can use that if they plan to pursue their permanent residency application to Australia.
Yes.
We can't give migration advice because we're not a migration company. So yeah, we can just say that it's a job that is in demand in Australia, but
Yeah.
we can't provide migration advice.
Okay. All right. But
Okay.
one
So
advantage is, as you mentioned earlier, that you are actually giving them OJT or internship. So
yeah.
that will be a very good opportunity for them for the employers to hire them later on. Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Because
you
the
so much.
students will be immersed in that specific company, and of course, um, the chances are they will be definitely hired, not unless they not they don't perform really well. So for those who would like to take this as a career path, it's really nice because as we've seen in the videos earlier of AUSINET, they're very hands-on in helping their students. They will assist you on if you would like to choose this as your career path. So for those who would like to be an electrician, we have AUSINET here, our partner in Australia. So, Sir Kevin, Ma'am Clen, do you have any message for our viewers and, of course, to our students who are enrolled in AUSINET?
Um, if you like, you know, to be hands-on, and if you like technical stuff, this is probably one of the best courses you could enroll into. But if you like to sit in front of the computer all day, then I wouldn't highly recommend this. This is not the course for you. So if you're interested in technology, and definitely come to us.
Okay. All right. So, sir, how about message for the Visa Center?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. So, do you have message for the Visa Center?
Oh, great job! You guys are doing great. Yeah, very, very enthusiastic group of people
Mm.
that we've come across, and very good luck to you guys and your huge fan base out there.
Yes, and thank you
Okay.
Thank
so much
you.
also to you, Sir Kevin and Ma'am Clem, for joining us. Thank you for sharing with us your
Thank you.
time and your knowledge, and for being an eye opener to all of our viewers who were not actually seeing that there is a chance, a greater chance